Hello and welcome to That Man. That is me merchandise, and today we are actually once again looking at some manga. It's actually been a while since I've actually been looking at manga and bringing them. The reason being is that I went really overboard in December and tried to do something every single day, burnt myself out, and then I was kind of like, not only that, it was kind of like, once I was doing like volumes like 7 and 8 of stuff, people weren't really that interested. Stuff for work was working, Monster Muscle Me, which I am intending to finish off once I read a little bit more of it. I just not had the motivation. But stuff like Vending Machine and a few others where I was on like volume 3 and volume 4, I was like, nobody was really fussed. But I do want to talk about Monster Wrestling. Now, there's a reason I picked this up. One, I actually really was into wrestling around the late 90s, early 2000s, the WWE Attitude Era, which Hardcore Championship and ECW and WCW ending, and I was really into wrestling then, and I also like Monster Girls. So I thought, you know what, Ultimate Muscle was a decent wrestling manga, however I kind of wanted something else. So I thought, I'd pick this up. The end of the day, what's the worst going to happen? It was like £7. So this is Monster Wrestling, brought to us by Yen Press. We have, this looks like it is an adapted manga, because we've got art Ganmare, original story Tiati Nanu, can't pronounce that, sorry, and there's a producer, Takio Aoki. So there's a few people who've had their hand in it. It is explicit, so it's like parental advisors, be careful on what you look at. And I don't know, I really wanted to enjoy this. Like I said, I like Monster Girls, I really like wrestling, but I was reading it, I was like, yeah, this is okay, but it's not doing much. Essentially the story is between this werewolf character who is being raised as the next generation wrestler by this, I can't remember, she was just like a squid girl. She's got like tentacles and all sorts, and I was expecting like over the top random cheesiness that you would expect from like the WWE and stuff like that. It's like, oh well, it's basically like a backyard federation. They're like, oh well, this is like fighting, but then it's kind of like the fighting's like, I wouldn't even say it's over the top. It's like you don't get many wrestling moves. It doesn't feel like a wrestling manga. It just feels like monster girls fighting each other. And once I kind of realised that I wasn't hugely sold on that, it kind of ruined things going on. There is a few fun characters. We've got like the other characters where there's a referee who's a cyclops. We've got a dryad. We've got a harpy. We've got a spider, and we've got a centaur. All of the classical monster girl tropes. And they kind of like, oh well, we're a tag team, and I was like, okay, cool. And it's like, but no, it wasn't. Again, because it was Monster Wrestling, I went in expecting dumb storylines and stuff like that. However, it's kind of like, it's like, oh, you fought and beat this person, now I'm going to fight you. And it's like very much more the shonen thing, but it's kind of like, I don't feel like there was many stakes at hand. I didn't really get into it. And the fighting, a lot of the fights, it's like, because like, for example, one of them's got tentacles, so it's like, you kind of, and the other one's like, the end of fighting like this, like a creature that's combined with other stuff. It's like a dragon type thing, and it's like, yeah, it was very weird, and it was very hard to follow what was actually going on sometimes. I'm not going to say it's bad. I think it was just when I was reading it, I was just like looking at it, I was just like, yeah, what's going on? And it's like, it tries far too hard to have this. It tries far too hard to have this battle between ecchi and being a wrestling, a fighting manga. So yeah, ecchi comes with the Monster Girl territory. However, I kind of felt that you look at this and then you look at any wrestling thing, if you look at Ultimate Muscle and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, I don't really get the inspiration. I'd say they probably should have just had, in fact, the best way they could have done it, instead of calling it Monster Wrestling, they should have just called it Interspecies Combat Monster Girls, or something like that. They've got the Interspecies Combat Girls, and it's like, yeah, they're fighting, but it's like kind of like the whole wrestling thing's like a thing. It's like every single time the referee will be looted or something like that, or she'll get knocked out or something, and it's like, yeah, that's fair enough. But I mean, I don't remember any circumstances in the WWE when the referee was looted. It probably did happen, however. There was a weird stuff going on. But no, it's like stuff like grappling. It's like, oh well, you see grappling moves and stuff like that. I'm hoping that we do see a little bit more. I am going to pick a little bit more up, because I do want to see how it kind of, if it flourishes, if it picks up. It might just be like the first few chapters are kind of like, but then it goes, oh well, actually this is really good. But no, when I was reading it, I was kind of like, yeah. This is the thing, especially because I actually picked up another one, which is another Monster Girl one, which was kind of like, it wasn't even ashamed. It was like, yeah, this is like people going and having sex with monster girls, and this is their report and stuff like that. Interspecies report or reviews. I will cover it at a later date. And I was kind of like, yeah, this is not your WWE, it's not your wrestling as you expect it. It's kind of, if you want monster girls fighting each other, and that's about what all you're going to get. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what you're signing up for, but it's not really wrestling. No. Anyways, that's it from me. Let me know what you thought of Monster Wrestling Interspecies Combat Girls in the comments. Have you picked it up? How do you think it's worth even trying? Let me know your opinions and feelings on it, or if you have read more of it, let me know if it's worth sticking with. As of writing, Volume 2 is not even due out. I think this was out like about 2 months ago, the end of December or beginning of January, and it's like, yeah, I haven't even seen Volume 2 come up, so I think it's still pretty early on, or it's been cancelled. One of the two. But I'm going to give it another shot for Volume 2. If it's not picking us up after that, I'm just going to drop it and probably sell them on. But it's a try before you buy kind of thing. It's one of those ones where if there's more of a digital presence for Yen Press, a more affordable digital presence, I would have probably picked it up on there instead of this one. That's it from me. Thank you for coming. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.